we have the opportunities to do literally anything, especially in the digital age. And I think this is where it comes as a double-edged sword, because we have all this opportunity, but we also now have this unlimited, unending, infinite distractor. I've watched thousands of hours probably on, 7 steps to your daily morning routine. And I've had the intention, but then I've just gotten distracted or overwhelmed by all this other choice of videos that I can watch. And I end up watching videos about the dumbest things. And then I go to bed feeling totally defeated and disappointed in myself, because I'm like, oh, well, there was 3 hours of my life that I just, went into with good intentions, but ended up just wasting my time completely.
Quickly jumping in here, there is part 1 and part 2. The reason why is because I talk too damn much. So come back next week for part 2. Yay.
About like 9 months ago, just after I'd had my son, or just before I'd had my son, I thought about all the things that had drastically changed. I'm a very creative person at heart, and I just started to get myself feeling so down and felt so lazy about the fact that I'd not achieved anything that really spoke to my soul or made me feel super excited about life. And in reality, I was just so overwhelmed with choice. I failed to realize that I had every opportunity to do so many of the things that I've wanted to do. And a part of that is starting this channel, for one. But I thought it would be really useful to share the steps or the tips that have helped me, that are actually realistic, no matter who you are, no matter what situation you're in. Obviously, I'm going to give you a little bit of background about me and what's kind of, made me step into this new me per se and get myself out of this rut essentially that I had mentally put myself in. The reality was I had time to doom scroll for hours. I felt like I dedicated this whole day to either working in my job or dedicated my whole day to my son, so I'll stay up for the next X amount of hours and just doom scroll useless information, have those little golden nuggets that are inspirational, and then do nothing with it, have a terrible night's sleep. Then you wake up and you just feel again super defeated, and you just convince yourself it's all the same thing over and over again. I had time to overthink every single thing that I didn't achieve. And when I realized I was my own worst enemy with stealing my own time, it kind of hit me hard. I just started to absolutely freak out, thinking, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to do these things that I wanted to do. I should have done them before I had a baby. And I just woke up one day and I was like, no, there's nothing, absolutely nothing stopping me from doing any of this stuff. As I said, how you can elevate your life and get out of the rut with simple steps, but give you really, really realistic examples of what I've done and kind of where I'm at now. And I want you to continue to go on this journey with me. I'm going to be posting so much more about this kind of thing, but also not pigeonhole myself off to an incredible start. Go me. Don't want to pigeonhole myself into just being this person who tries to talk about how you should live your life and all of these steps. I'm going to tell you the things that have worked for me because they've worked. I'm also going to be transparent if I have to keep working at them too. You have to be willing to do the extra work or be consistent. And I think that is the scariest thing at the moment in this day and age. That's where the overwhelm comes from, is being consistent, because we are so ready to be stimulated constantly by something different that consistency is not in our repertoire anymore unless we work at it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you're feeling the same way and you feel like you want to be on the same kind of journey to, whether that's finding yourself again or you're overwhelmed just by society and the opportunities that we have to be distracted by technology and people and just everything these days, come along. I hope this is helpful. Yeah, I'd love the feedback. Please comment below, subscribe. Let's do this together. Enjoy. The first step is, all of these are going to be so obvious, by the way, but I'm going to just give realistic, easy examples of how to implement them. Get a good sleep in. Good sleep routines. So pick a time. I'm not going to tell you what time because every night is different for me depending on how the day's gone. What I will say, I probably just made sure that I was actually in bed about to go to sleep before 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock was my cutoff time. From a technology perspective, that meant my phone is down at 10. It wasn't me going, I am not allowed my phone in the bed. I am not allowed to look at anything. No, I just did two things. One, changed up what I allowed myself to do on my phone before I went to bed. I just make sure it's before 10 because I want to try and get at least 7 to 8 hours. I downloaded a brain app where you literally just do like 3 exercises for the night. It can take literally less than 5-10 minutes every second day or whenever, but it was just making me conscious of, oh, I've done something on the phone that's, one, actually helpful to my brain function, but two, it's avoided me from going onto socials specifically, which is where I was wasting most of my time. Or it was making me feel bad that after I'd done those 3 little things, I would then go on socials and watch absolute nonsense, and it would make me want to turn my phone off or put it down quicker. So there's that. Or I would do something that wasn't video content related. So Pinterest is a great one. Just scrolling Pinterest, saving some pictures. You get to a point where you get a bit over it, especially if you're laying in bed in the dark. So you're saving things that are interesting to you versus just, here's a suggestion of a random video that you might find interesting of a man falling down or tripping over a dog. Or I do want to mention, I tried having my phone out of the room. It's just, if you can do that, awesome. Pick a time to go to bed or just not have your phone in the room. If you can't do that, they're my suggestions. Get sleep, 7 to 8 hours. I could have just said that, but now you know. The next step, also probably obvious or the scariest thing outside of your mental health scenario. I'm going to say movement versus exercise, because exercise is scary. We are conditioned to think that exercise means go do an F45 or a HIIT class or something that's super intense on our bodies. If you're someone who hasn't gone to the gym for like 3 to 6 months, even longer, however long, that's terrifying to think of, that you just have to all of a sudden go and work out for at least 45 minutes a day to get somewhere. After my son, I was so scared with this because I'd already not worked out for so long before even getting pregnant. Then there's 9 months of hardly doing much movement at all. And then you have a baby, the recovery is ridiculous. In some circumstances, for me it was. And I just got terrified and thought to myself, how on earth am I going to exercise? And at that point I wasn't even like, oh, I want to get fit and ripped and, you know, I feel differently now. But then I was just like, I just want to be stronger. I felt so weak, and your body actually has to get used to like holding back. Anyways, parent or not, if you have not worked out for ages, the word exercise, start exercising more every day. It's freaky. So move more. How it started for me, I went on really short walks. Like I'm talking 10 minutes, end of the street, back. Just started getting my body, one, used to moving fully normally again out of the sanctuary of my own house, but two, I didn't put any pressures on myself. Would walk until I felt over it, and sometimes that was the end of the street and back. You know what, I came home and I'm like, cool, I got myself out of the house today. And eventually over time, that 15 minutes or the end of the street would turn into 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Yeah, just feeling stronger as well in your walk. And then when I felt good with that, I felt like I was ready to do a little bit extra. So then I started doing really light exercise, even stretching at home. Again, 10, 15 minutes. And so then I was like, okay, maybe I'm open to taking on a class. So then I started Pilates up, went once a week, was just paying single classes. You can do packs, but sometimes just don't overwhelm yourself if it's your first step. Just go to one, see how you go. Convince yourself to go to a second, and then it opens you up to that endorphin kick that you get once you've done those types of classes. You start to crave it a little bit more, and I'm not talking obsessive like I want to go 7 days a week now. You start to feel like I at least want to do this for myself once or maybe twice a week. I am now at a point where I did sign up to a gym. There's exercise machine. There's also movement classes that I can do, like Zumba kind of style. So I like variety, and I also like class-based because I like being around people, and we're all put in this room to uncomfortably do the same thing, but there's instructions and you don't have to talk to people or convince yourself to be there because you feel awkward if you just stop and don't end up finishing it. You're compelled to finish. So classes, I really implore, if your next step out of the house and out of walking or jogging or whatever you've done first by yourself, if you're going to a gym, go to classes, you just feel more inclined to be there. So yeah, currently I'm going to the gym 3 times a week, and that's just come out of nowhere. That's one worked into my schedule that I have with my hubby. So we're both getting our own physical time, movement-wise and exercise-wise. On top of that, we try and do as many walks together as we can in the week, or if he's at work, I luckily stay-at-home mum and I get to do work from home for our business, so I walk with my son when I can, maybe early in the morning. So depending on your circumstance, and everyone is different, just work out a really simple schedule that's going to make it easy for you to pencil in some time where you're going to do movement. And again, as I said, don't go buying a big bunch of packs because you think, oh, I'm going to do it, I'm going to stick to it. Just start with one.